Hey friends, welcome back. If you've ever tried splitting leather by hand, you know just how easy it can be to ruin a perfect panel. Stretch grain, uneven thickness, or even tearing it, blowing straight through. Today, and pardon my pronunciation, we're looking at Druckel Leather Splitter V3, a compact benchtop tool that provides smooth, consistent splits without ever needing to sharpen the blade. But is it worth the investment? Let's take a closer look. Quick disclaimer for you, this was sent to me by Druckel, not exactly sure how it's pronounced, but this was sent to me for review. However, these words are all my own. They have not paid me a penny to do this, and they will not get to see this before I post it. So everything I'm saying is true to the best of my ability, and it is not by any means influenced by them. Whether you're a business making 20 plus veg tan or bridal belts a day, or a solo artisan making extremely high-end, high-quality wallets or small leather goods, splitting leather consistently and easily is something never to be taken for granted. One of the standout features of this particular machine, and I've not seen it in any others, but correct me in the comments if I am wrong, is how adjustable this splitter is. Because the Druckel splitter comes with two adjustment knobs, one on each side and a nut on top and underneath, this allows for really precise increments of adjustment, allowing you to get extremely thin leather splits on your projects. Now personally, I have managed to get my splits down to 0.6mm goat, and that's on goat, without any stretch whatsoever. Now I've tried this on other ones. I think they're called Osborne, the other one that's made. It's really old, and I couldn't get it down to below 1. So a 0.6 is ridiculous. Now I have seen people with this go down to 0.4 and all the way up to 5mm. That's the range of split on this. It's 0.3 down to 5mm. Making it extremely versatile for basically anything. If you're making high-end wallets, you can do your lining pieces at 0.4, which would be ridiculously thin and make your wallet so fine. Or if you're doing let's say you're doing a batch of belts, of bridal belts, and you're just splitting the turn, getting a really nice split on the end, making it an incredibly versatile for everyday projects. If you're using your machine 50, 100 times a day in a factory base, or if you're using it twice a day in your home artisan studio, you have to unbolt the whole thing, learn how to sharpen on either a oil stone or a whetstone, and then clamp it back in, which takes a long time. With this, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts on the top, Allen head bolts, and this obviously comes with the Allen screw, the Allen key to do it, replaceable alpha blades. Now this is something that really got my attention when I was talking to them, because I hate sharpening. I do it, but because this is replaceable alpha blades, that means no sharpening, no grinding, no stropping, nothing. No ruined blades that you have to send off to be reground. You just swap it out when it gets dull and you keep on working. It's quick, clean, and incredibly beginner friendly. Now when I was talking to Druckel about them sending me the machine, I asked them, look, can I split goat? And can I split goat without stretching it? And they said yes, and I was hesitant to begin with if it would actually do it. And I can say, in my experience, I have managed to split goat down to 0.4mm. I use it at 0.6, which in itself is kind of bonkers. You have two mounting options. You can either drill holes in your bench, which I have not done because I can't decide where I want to put it, or you can clamp it to your desk, which is what I've done with Irwin quick clamp things. I think that's what they're called. They're very, very good. I put 2 on the back and I pull the leather through. Those are your 2 mounting options. This thing handles almost all leathers extremely well. Wallet panels, belt tips, watch strap linings, watch strap exteriors, card holders. It splits them evenly and, most importantly, predictable, because you've got those 2 really, really accurate adjustment knobs at the bottom. Compared to a tool like a bell skiver, which can leave compression marks or dig in if you don't set it up correctly, this splitter is designed for full panel splitting, not edge work like a bell skiver. It is possible to split leather with a bell skiver. Myself and lots of you have probably done this multiple times with really quite good results. I promise you that splitting with an actual splitter is a far more consistent and safe way of doing this. If you're working with really quite valuable leather, say alligator or crocodile for instance, you really don't want to risk running that through a bell skiver. If you haven't set up your bell skiver exactly right, you will not just get channels in your leather underneath you after you've used it, but you can also blow through it, just clean blow through it. And if that piece of leather, $100 for a shell or $300 for an alligator skin, you don't want to risk. When you compare this to something like a band knife splitter, which can cost literally tens of thousands and require professional maintenance, the Druckel V3 is a huge win. Yeah, don't get me wrong. If I had 20 grand or 10 grand to spend on a band knife splitter and the space to put it, my bed is there. You can see my bed. I have no space. I would buy one. If I had 10 grand, I would buy a band knife splitter. They're amazing. However, I do not have 10 grand, and this lives on my workbench or even in my drawer beautifully. It is always ready. I do not have to box up a panel to ship it off to be split. There is no downtime. I literally get it out my drawer. It can fit in my drawer. Clamp it to my bench, crank this back, put the leather in, pull it through, and I'm done. You might be able to hear a plane. I can. Now, of course, no tool is perfect. The Druckel splitter does take some practice to use effectively, especially with thinner, stretchy, soft leathers. It is a challenge to split very soft leathers. If you're pulling something like a Nova Nappa through it, it will be difficult. You might get some stretch. Not always, but you might. And while the replaceable blades are convenient, you'll be going through them quite regularly. Think about how regularly you need to replace the blade in your scalpel. That's how regularly you'll need to replace the blade in your Druckel. If you're using it as the same amount, it will get as dull. So that is an ongoing cost to factor in, especially if you're a business using it frequently in your commercial workflow. Also, one small downside is the fine-tuning adjustment. Now, I talked about it earlier, and it is great. Instead of a single knob per side, it uses 2. This does give you more control, but it can be a little tricky to make very, very small adjustments because you first have to undo one of them to change them. So you have to make 2 adjustments instead of 1, which can be a little bit tricky to get used to. So, the width of it. Now, right, let's talk about pros and cons. I'm not going to lie and tell you that this is the widest piece of leather you'll ever need in your leather work. I'm not going to do that. This is, I think it's 12 centimeters. This is a 12 centimeter blade, which means that you can split something up to 12 centimeters wide. Think about a wallet back panel. If it is less than 12 centimeters wide, you can split it. If it's more than that, you won't be able to. So you do need to work your project around your splitting machine. I would be doing you guys dirty if I didn't talk about the cons, because this is a proper review. I'm not just trying to sell it to you. There is a link in the description, obviously. I do not get a kickback. They send it to me for review. I get no benefits for doing this. I want you guys to have the best stuff you can, and this is that. Hence the review. So, the cons. It does take practice to get dialed in. With all of the adjustments, it does take practice. That if money is a concern, aside from the outlay of the machine itself, which I'll put on the screen, it is expensive to replace blades. It does come with a box of 5, I think it is, but when you've run out of those 5, I'm on my second blade now. So the question is, can you afford to replace the replaceable blades as often as you'll need to on top of buying the actual machine? The last con would be the width that you're able to split. It is only 12 centimeters wide. If you have the money, buy a bar knife splitter. If you don't, and you need to split something thicker than that, I will still be sending off hides to be split. That is unfortunately a fact of life, that some of the stuff I make requires bigger panels. If you're making bags, this won't help you. For leather crafters who need clean, consistent splits without dropping thousands on a band knife, the Druckel Leather Splitter V3 is a solid solution. It's compact, affordable, and delivers professional results once you've learned how to use it. If you've ever used this splitter, you've got this splitter or anything like it, let me know in the comments how it worked for you. Which one do you have? Which one do you use? Do you like it? Are you going to upgrade to this one? I'd love to compare notes. And if you enjoyed this review and you want more tool reviews, let me know. I would love to do them. If I get 2 views on this, unfortunately I won't be. But if you guys love it and you want more tool reviews of things that you've seen and you want to know should I buy them, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and let me know in the comments what you want me to review and what it is that you've enjoyed using in the past. Have a phenomenal week. Take care.